Welcome back, friends of the shop. Growing up, I spent a lot of time with my grandfather. He lived not too far away and was a really important person in my life. I just really looked up to him and admired him. And of course, you know, when we're little kids, we want to be like our granddad and like our dad. And there was two things that he insisted on that a man have on his person at all times. One was he called it a hanky or handkerchief, and the other was a pocket knife. I remember both of those he gave to me, my very first ones. And I remember when I was going over there, you know, being a little bit worried, like I had to make sure I had my handkerchief and my pocket knife because Granddad would ask me. It wouldn't matter where we were going. We might just be leaving the house and going out for ice cream. He would ask me, son, you got your hanky and do you have your pocket knife? And if I didn't have that, he would go in his room and he would get one for me. And he always wore a colored handkerchief on work days. And then on Sunday, when he'd wear his Sunday best, he wore a white one that had his initials stitched on it that my Nana had made for him, you know. Those quaint little things, you know, at the time, you don't think about it. Even when I was older, I thought, oh, my granddad is so backwards and old-fashioned. And now that I get older, I look back upon those things with such fondness that it's a wonderful memory. So today we're going to talk about hankies, how to fold one, how to wear it, where to wear it, what color to choose, and how to get the right one, and why it's important to have one. And I'll tell you, whenever I do these, I've talked about wearing a handkerchief or keeping one on your person for forever since I've started the whole channel. And I often get guys that just have never experienced that before. They say, oh, why would you carry that? That's disgusting, you know, you just don't know. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And what I hear back from guys that actually started doing it, they're like, yeah, dude, I get it. You know, I get it. I understand now. I can't live without it because it just does so many things and it's so nice to have. So first off, handkerchief. What color, where do you start with that? Well, for me, I used to think there were only two, but there's three now. Either red or blue, right? Granddad always wore red. I just remember he would wear, so he was very adamant about this. So he was a mechanic, worked with his hands, and you know, guys that work with their hands like that, and your hands get beat up. And he would always carry his wallet on his left rear pocket, and he would carry his handkerchief on his right rear pocket. And I remember asking him about that one time because I had it flipped and he told me to correct it. And I asked him why. He said, well, you know, my right hand's my dominant hand. It's so beat up over the years from, you know, slipping in wrenches and just using it. He said, I don't have as good a feeling in my hand and my fingers in my right hand as I do to my left. So I keep my wallet in my left so I can reach back and pat it to make sure it's still there. You know, he was, you know, always worried someone was going to pickpocket him or something. He'd reach back and touch that. And he had more sensitivity in his left hand than his right. He would carry his handkerchief on the right side, right? Well, you know, those of us who are taller and suffer from, you know, chronic back problems all the time, it's a good idea to get that wallet out of your pocket, get it up front. Not only is it more secure, it's a little bit handier to get to, but you get some of those guys, you know, they'll get putting receipts and different things in there and your wallet gets to be super thick and then you end up leaning. If you sit a lot at work or you sit in the car, it ends up causing you to lean. It'll throw your back and your hips out of alignment. So get that wallet out of your back pocket. You probably should have that wallet in your front left pocket like that. So for me, I put my handkerchief in my left rear pocket. I keep the right one open for the cell phone. You know, things are changed. Granddad didn't have a cell phone in the day. Had he had one, he probably would have done something like that. So colors. Granddad always preferred red. I've always preferred navy. Navy's always kind of been my favorite color. One of those, either one. You want to make sure you get just a traditional one that's the paisley ones, I think, are the coolest one. 100% cotton. Now, you can find some USA-made ones. I'll see if I can source one that's a good USA 100% cotton and put it in the subject heading. If you can't find one, you can look there if I can find one. But this is what you want, just your basic one, and I like the traditional paisley pattern. Now, I've switched to black because I'm in mourning for just the terrible state of our country. It just reminds me that everything's wrong, and if they ever get right again, I'll go back to my blue one. But until then, I'm going to go with black. So what are the uses? Before I show you how to fold them and all that, and why is it necessary? Well, you know, it's just blowing your nose, cleaning your glasses off. You know, a lot of the clothing that we wear these days, so much of them are synthetic. I don't wear synthetic. I either wear wool or cotton, unless it's something very specific like fleece for skiing. But anything touching my skin, I don't like it. You know, I'm not going to get into it, but I'm of the belief that it's not healthy to wear clothing and it doesn't feel good to me that has synthetic fibers, things that are made out of oils, and I hate it. I'll either wear, if it's going to be touching my skin, it's got to be either silk, 100% cotton, or 100% wool. So having a 100% cotton piece is nice because you ever tried to rinse off your glasses or clean your glasses, reading glasses or sunglasses with a piece of rayon or polyester or fleece, you know, it's not going to happen. So just having it for that is very nice. If you've got kids, I don't have to go there, right? Kids are just sticky. The Sweet Loaf, she's a feral little child, constantly sticky, wiping her off, cleaning stuff up just for that reason alone. I've used it as an impromptu dust mask. I've used it in places where I was working and I was getting a real bad sunburn on the back of my neck. You can take your hanky and you can kind of fold it into a triangle, and then you can wear that like this here across your back around your neck if you're working outside, and it'll keep that sun off your neck and keep you from getting a bad sunburn. You know, now that we live in a state that mandates masks, sometimes you don't have a mask or you forget to take a mask, you can get away with this, get in the store. You really don't have a choice here. It's not like you can choose or not choose. People throw such a scene that it's just not worth it. That's just not a hill that I want to die on at this point. So for that reason is another reason. Straining water, just a bazillion different things. I have cut myself. It makes a pretty good, it can make a tourniquet. You can put pressure on it. You can use it for an impromptu bandage, on and on and on. Just a million different things. You can even, if you're really feeling good, you can you can have a headband. I don't know why you'd want that, but very good. Very, very useful. Can't tell you how lost I am if I go out without one of these. Let me show you how to fold it, how to stow it, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Folding your hanky. All right, for most guys, if you wear normal pants and you're not a East Coast guy that wears skinny jeans with little pockets, then you can usually just quarter it, right? So I'll lay it out here flat. Now this is important because if you just wad it up like some Philistine in the back of your pants pockets, it's uncomfortable and it just looks unsightly. It puts a big bulge in the back of your pants and it's just not the proper way to do it. Fold it this way with the pattern down here. We're just going to go half again, get all the creases out of it, half it again, and like this here, right? Now you've got the nice paisleys across there, right? It looks nice. Now your pants pocket here, we're going to put this, of course, inside the excellent sugar cane pants. Actually, I'm going to do a video on pants. I've told you guys I've been minimizing, simplifying my life, and one part of that simplification means wearing the same clothing all the time. So I ask myself, you have to choose 2 pair of pants that you're going to wear, not including the tin pants. Those are kind of special category. So I decided on my casual pants that I wear for out are going to be sugar cane. I've been wearing these for a decade, the best denim in the world. And then the other ones will be, well, I'll share with you on the pant video. My work pants would be more of a cargo style, duck pant. Okay, so in the left pocket, so you can see right there, you take the size of your pocket, however you fold this, you want it so that it's not bigger than inside of the stitching. You see the stitching there at the points? Because if it's bigger than that, then it gets wadded up and it's just kind of uncomfortable. This will, after wearing it all day, it will flatten down to thin like a piece of paper. You won't even know it's there. And so you take that right there. Now with the fold, you put the open part down here like this, right? Push it in. I know it sounds simple, or I'm overdoing this here, but it's the little things in life, right? Get those creases out of there, and now that looks really nice right there. There you go. You've got you're representing. You can have your color, whatever you want there. You can be in black for morning like I am, but it looks pretty nice and it fits there and it's easy to get to. That way you can reach down, you got a little tab right there, and off you go. Now folding it this way, there is a method, there's a reason for this. So if you have a person that has kind of a runny nose, or if you got a cold and you want to blow your nose, you want to, when you open it and you blow your nose on the inside, right? Well, that's gross. Well, let's grow up here. Blow your nose on the inside or wipe off the sticky face or the ice cream off your kid's face or whatever. And then you always have a clean surface here if you need to wipe off your own face or clean your glasses or anything. And if it's really bad, you can look at the kind of make this act like a deck of cards, right? You've got a clean surface here, you've got a clean surface here, you've got a clean surface there. You've got many times that you can blow your nose and yet still have a relatively clean hanky on the outside for cleaning things, or if you need to loan it to your wife or girlfriend or something. So that's kind of the method of that madness. So put that in there, wear that on the left, your handkerchief, get that in there, and you won't even know it's there. But I promise you guys, once you get used to this and carrying it and having it with you, you'll find a million different uses for it, and you wonder how you got by so far without it. I guess that's about all there is to say about a hanky. I'm going to use mine to wipe off the sweat on the brow here. It's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow. Might be a good time to head to the beach. But get yourself one. Once we get moved and get established, Jack and I have been talking. You know, he's been trying to think about what type of job he's going to do. You know, he's going to be driving. He's just finishing up driver's ed and driving around. He's going to need some cash, right? So we've been talking about, well, what do you want to do? You know, do you want to get a job and work by the hour? Do you want to work construction, or do you want to work with me? You know, and I said, you know, sometimes it's hard to work with your old man, and we definitely butt heads. Primarily my fault, because I just, you know, when you're used to working with professionals, sometimes it's hard to have patience, and it's really hard to have patience with your kids sometimes. So I told him what might be best is for you to take over, maybe we'd just start doing some really nice merchandise, you know, and maybe you run that, and not just, I'm not just talking about just ordering some garbage from China and slapping our logo on there, but really well thought out. And you know, how nice would it be? What I'd like to do is I'd like to find a company, some small company, a guy that buys a sewing machine and has that same vision, USA made, that we can say, hey, let's make Wranglerstar handkerchief. Let's source the nicest organic cotton. Let's find out how they did it back in the old day. And let's make these things available. You know, let's start manufacturing and making things that are hard to find, make them in the U.S. and have a little fun with that. Maybe that's something that Jack can take over. So that's yet to be determined. But one thing that I was calling on yesterday, I'll close with this, is that on the new homestead, we have the shop that we're in now that we've spent so many hours in and videos together is a 40 by 60. And that's a really nice size. One thing that's really been hard on this property is having buildings all over the place. So yeah, majority of the stuff I have here, but if I want to do something or cut a board or do some woodworking, then it's a long walk, you know, 100 feet over, 150 feet, whatever that is, to the other shop. On the new homestead, I want everything in one place. So the shop that's on there now is a 40 by 40. It's an insulated steel building with a concrete floor. It's very similar to this, but a lot nicer building. I'd like to double that. So I got some quotes from the steel. The name of the company that put it up was on there, and I called them and I got some quotes for basically doubling it. So if we could do a 40 by 80 shop, I think that would be about perfect. That would give you the ability to have a blacksmithing section, carpentry section, a fabricating section, and plenty of storage out from the elements, as well as maybe a little even small shipping area where Jack could do our American-made products and stuff that I'd like to get into. So just lots of fun things to think about, right? So next time we'll go over the pants. I'll tell you that I had to narrow it down. If I could only have 2 pair of pants, one work and one casual, what I decided and what I will be wearing. And then we'll get into my latest 2020 EDC, which has been updated in video 3. So thanks for watching. Please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.